Drivers in Russian-controlled Crimea were grappling with gasoline rationing on Monday after Ukrainian drone attacks constricted roads in Ukraine. Reuters witnesses and officials said more than 4 years since the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, Russia is facing almost daily Ukrainian attacks on its oil infrastructure, while Western sanctions have made crude exports more costly.
More than 20 police officers responsible for protecting the royal family have been placed on irrestricted duties after some were accused of falling asleep at Windsor Castle and leaving their posts unattended, London police said. Total of 23 officers from the Royalty and Specialist Protection Command have been served with misconduct notices, with 21 of them on restricted duties, following what the force described as an urgent investigation launched last month, the Metropolitan Police said. Hungarian Prime Minister Peter Magyar has promised to amend the constitution to remove the president and other officials appointed under populist former Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Magyar on Monday called President Tamás Sullyok Orban's puppet and said he should resign from the position. But the president has repeatedly rejected the Prime Minister's requests that he stand down.
On a modest bed inside his war-battered home in the Khartoum North neighbourhood of the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, Murtada Mohyeddin, a diabetic patient in his early 50s, carefully counts his remaining doses of insulin. His search for medicine has transformed into a harrowing battle, not just to find the treatment he needs to survive his diabetes, but to ensure the medicine is not expired or ruined. Sometimes the insulin is spoiled, Mohyeddin tells Al Jazeera, inspecting his limited supply. You wouldn't know if it is ruined or expired. You can check the expiration date, but it could still be damaged from poor storage.
The UK government is considering restrictions that could stop children from talking to strangers on gaming platforms such as Roblox, Fortnite, Discord and Minecraft. The Times reported Sunday the proposal is being discussed as part of a wider review of children's online safety and possible limits on social media use by young people.
A new portable device could make tuberculosis testing much easier and cheaper, especially in areas with limited access to hospitals and laboratories. Researchers say the device can detect TB from a tongue swab within 30 minutes using a test that costs around $4 or roughly $1,100. The World Health Organization, WHO, recommended the test in March, marking the first time it has endorsed a molecular TB test that can be used in community settings without full laboratory infrastructure.
AMD is expanding its 7000 desktop processor lineup with the new Ryzen 7 7700X3D, an 8-core gaming CPU with 3DV cache for the AM5 platform. The processor will be available on July 16 with a suggested launch price of $329.
Amid rising gas load shedding, biogas bags are emerging as an alternative energy solution that converts kitchen waste into usable cooking fuel, offering partial relief to households facing energy shortages. In Karachi, businessman Mohammed Uzair has installed a 2 cubic metre biogas bag at his home, costing around $135,000.
Huawei has unveiled the Nova 16 series in China with 4 models. The Nova 16 Ultra sits at the top of the lineup and brings a high-end camera setup, a large battery, fast charging support, and Huawei's latest software experience. Huawei Nova 16 Ultra features a 6.84-inch LTPO OLED display with FHD Plus resolution and a 1Hz to 120Hz adaptive refresh rate. The screen comes with Kunlun glass protection and supports up to 6,000 nits of peak local brightness. Huawei has placed the fingerprint scanner on the right side of the phone, built into the power button.
Islamabad. Having missed the growth target by half a percentage point, recording growth of 3.7 PC this year, the government has set an economic growth target of 4 PC and inflation at 8.2 PC for the next fiscal year. The macroeconomic framework for FY 2026-27 was cleared here on Monday at a meeting of the Annual Plan Coordination Committee, APCC, for formal approval by the National Economic Council, NEC, on June 3.
The Punjab government has decided to make all government offices across the province completely paperless as part of its ongoing efforts to promote e-governance and digital administration. The decision was taken during a secretaries' conference chaired by the Chief Secretary, Punjab. The meeting was attended by senior provincial officials, joined via video link, while divisional commissioners and deputy commissioners joined a video link.
Iran has damaged at least 20 United States, US military sites across the Middle East since the war began, according to a new satellite-based analysis that suggests the scale of the attacks may be far greater than publicly acknowledged. The reported strikes hit facilities in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq, Jordan, Bahrain and Oman. The strike said to have damaged a range of high-value military assets, including air defense systems, refueling aircraft, radars, fuel storage sites, hangars and communications equipment.
The Punjab Cabinet has approved the Electricity Duty Rules 2026, introducing a new taxation framework for private power generation systems, including large generators and solar installations, while exempting domestic consumers from the levy. Under the new rules, private generators and solar power systems with a capacity exceeding 500 kVA will be subject to electricity duty. Industrial and commercial consumers will be charged 4 paise per unit of electricity generated for self-consumption.
Apple is reportedly targeting a late 2027 launch for its first smart glasses, pushing the product later than earlier expectations. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman reported that the device, codenamed N50, had previously been expected to arrive earlier, with a possible reveal by the end of 2026 and shipments starting in early 2027.
Germany has introduced new immigration laws aimed at attracting skilled IT professionals from around the world. By simplifying residency rules for tech talent under the updated framework, international IT workers will benefit from easier job residency options and residency options linked to policies under the Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Climate Action. Salary thresholds have been fixed as of January 2026. Salary thresholds have been... Islamabad, having missed the growth target by half a percentage point, recording growth of 3 economic growth target of 4 PC, the government at 8.2 PC for the next fiscal year. The macroeconomic framework for FY 2026-27 was cleared here on Monday at a meeting of the Annual Plan Coordination Committee, APCC, for formal approval by the National Economic Council, NEC, on June 3.
Online political commentators Hassan Piker and Cenk Uygur have had their clearance to enter the UK revoked by Britain's Home Office. The two were set to speak at the SXW conference in London this week. Piker, a streamer on Twitch with over 3 million followers, was set to speak on a panel titled How the American Left Learned to Speak the Internet. His uncle Uygur, host of the online news show The Young Turks, was set to speak on Techno-feudalism is here. Who are the Lords?
Previous World Cup appearances: 16 best performance winners 1966, first appearance 1950 Brazil, top goal scorer Gary Lineker 10, most appearances Peter Shilton, 18 player to watch Harry Kane FIFA World Ranking, 4 fixtures: Croatia June 17, Dallas Ghana June 23, Boston Panama. It has now been 60 years of hurt for England, who lifted their only World Cup title in 1966. While the Three Lions are certainly genuine contenders this time around, they come into the 2026 edition in a rather unsettled mood.
Athens, Greece. Bashir is a Syrian Muslim who has lived in Greece since 2014. He married a fellow Syrian in the country, and 3 months ago they had a son. After years of picking olives and oranges, learning Greek and a trade in metalwork, and finally buying his own equipment to start work as an independent trader, Bashir felt his life was finally coming together. 2 months ago, the authorities handed him a piece of paper asking him to restate his reasons for coming to Greece and why he should now return to Syria.
The Atlantic hurricane season has just begun and runs from Monday to November 30, with storm activity peaking in mid-September. During this period, warm ocean waters and atmospheric shifts feed and accelerate tropical storms and hurricanes that mainly threaten the Caribbean and the east and Gulf coasts of the United States.
AI companies have grown into data-hungry entities as their models require ever larger datasets to train on. To meet that need, many AI startups defy long-standing internet conventions, like respecting robots.txt files, signal to automated crawlers which parts of a website are off-limits, and scrape data aggressively. This has forced websites to restrict access to their data and, in some cases, strike licensing deals with AI companies. Fitness and social running company Strava is making a move in this direction by restricting its website and introducing fees for developer access. To stop scraping, the company is increasing security around its website and will now only allow authenticated users to view certain data. Earlier users were able to see details like public profiles and fitness club listings without logging in. The company is putting all that data behind authentication to protect it from unauthorized AI scraping. NVIDIA on Monday unveiled its new RTX Spark chip for consumer Windows laptops and desktops, marking its first move into fully integrated consumer chips as it looks to compete with Intel, AMD, Apple and Qualcomm. Chief Executive Jensen Huang introduced the RTX Spark laptop during his keynote at Computex in Taipei, where he said NVIDIA and Microsoft are working together to reinvent the PC.
Scientists are making progress on a wireless brain implant that could help some blind people regain limited visual ability by sending camera-based information directly to the brain. The system, called the intracortical visual prosthesis, bypasses the retina and optic nerves and connects directly with the visual cortex, the part of the brain that processes sight. It is designed for people with profound blindness, especially those whose eyes or optic nerves can no longer send signals to the brain.
Pakistan fast bowlers Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shah Afridi continue to rank among the leading ODI wicket takers by strike rate amongst bowlers with at least 100 wickets. The latest ODI bowling records show that Haris Rauf has taken 104 wickets at a strike rate of 26.42, while Shaheen Shah Afridi has 140 wickets at 26.87.
A young founder from Pakistan managed to secure a free one-year domain renewal after cold emailing GoDaddy's CEO. When he could not afford the $60 founder, he came across a well-known cold email example, reworked it for his own situation, and sent it to the company's top executive in the hope of getting help.
Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming the global job market, raising concerns that many university degrees are losing their traditional economic value as automation replaces routine white-collar work. Major corporate restructuring and layoffs at firms such as Block and Oracle have intensified fears that AI systems are increasingly performing tasks once handled by entry-level professionals. Analysts warn that the gap between university education and labour market demand is widening as technology evolves faster than academic curricula.
The upper parts of the country are expected to experience dust storms and thunderstorms from June 2, which are likely to persist until June 5, the Pakistan Meteorological Department PM said on Monday. A westerly wave is likely to approach the upper parts of the country during the forecast period, PMD said in an advisory. I went to watch Zombaid without high expectations. After all, Pakistan isn't always known for its brilliant cinema, and most films released on Eid are designed to be vapid crowd pleasers meant to rake in the big bucks. This is probably why I didn't have the worst time watching it. The acting was fine, the plot was fine, the visuals were fine, everything was just fine.
India gave a red carpet welcome on Monday to Myanmar's junta leader turned President Min Aung Hlaing. His first trip abroad since becoming civilian leader, with talks focusing on security and trade, the former military chief met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday, where they shook hands outside New Delhi's sprawling Hyderabad House.
France intercepted a sanctioned Russian oil tanker in the Atlantic on Sunday with the support of allies, including the UK. French President Emmanuel Macron has said the French Navy boarded the Tagore, which maritime authorities said had been flying a false flag when it was detained around 400 nautical miles west of Brittany in international waters.